Yes, I'm definitely halfway there, and I thought, how did I start doing the 12 cast-ons of 2026 without noticing I was doing that? Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Diane and I'm a Canadian knitter and welcome to My Pink Bathtub. No, there are no pink bathtubs here, but I used to own one and I didn't quite like it. Well, I have been hibernating the last few weeks and just enjoying January, which means essentially staying in and knitting, but I have gone out for a few walks, as you just noticed, because the weather has warmed up significantly. We are going to like 0 degrees here. It's not your standard January weather for Manitoba. I have a few things to share with you that I completed, and I have a whole bunch of cast-ons. I even took notes because it's been a while, friends. It has been. Before we get too far into this, I just want to quickly share my 2026 goals, and we're also going to see the progress on my craft room cleanup later on in this episode. There's a lot to share. There's a lot to share. Buckle up. 2026 goals are essentially to try to knit from my stash as much as I can for the whole year and not buy any new yarn because I have quite a bit of yarn. I do. I am a maker. I sell my products at markets. If you want to see the kind of products I make, I am on Instagram as MyPinkBathtub. And I have a lot of acrylic yarn and commercial grade yarn for that. However, the last couple of years since I've been on YouTube, I have accumulated quite a bit of, let's just call it fancy yarn, hand-dyed yarn, wool, pretty stuff to make things for yourself. And my goal this year is to make some things for myself with that yarn. The only issue I've been having, and I have been slowly going through my yarn collection, is not knowing at the time how much I would need to, say, make a sweater in fingering weight or DK weight. There's going to be a lot of color block or stripy projects in my future, but at the very most, I'm going to try to not buy yarn for 2026. Last year, I made it till April. Let's see how long I can do this time. The only caveat is I do want to do something for Christmas in July and Vlogmas on my channel. Christmas in July, I'm pretty sure I have that all figured out. I have an Advent saved for that and another project. But I want to treat myself in December to an Advent. I have one in mind that I want to do, which I did last year in 2025, the Bescoat Yarns one. Now, unless it is a purple theme, we're going to have to pivot, but I'm hopeful that I will be purchasing that for myself for December. But that's a long way away. It's a long way away. We're going to work with what we have. Let's start with what I have completed. Now, these couple of projects I started in December, and the myriad of cast-ons I have created since I saw you last. I had a ball of yarn from my friend Judy from the Arkansas Sock Yarn Society that I was making a Musselburgh hat for my friend, and it is complete. The color is called Slap a Bow on It. It was a gray and white. And I have finished the Musselburgh. I did it in a size medium adult, and I did it in a 3.25 millimeter needle, which I had to question myself partway through, why did I use a larger needle for this fingering weight? But the very first muscle burrow I did was for a friend who I did in an adult large size. And I wanted it to be a little bit bigger and looser on her so it would fit her head well. But it doesn't curl up the way this one does. Now, if you're familiar with this pattern, and this is only the second one I have ever made, you tuck it into itself and look at how big it is, the length. And then you can also it up for extra warmth. This one had 437 yards in the 100 gram. And when I looked back at the first hat that I made, the adult large, it only had 370 yards in it. So that's why it wasn't very long. It fits her. She just can't turn up the brim. I love this. This is for a friend. And I've decided I'm going to make one for myself now. I had a tiny bit of yarn left. Of course, I made myself a mini sweater for my market, so I'm going to put this away. And I've chosen some yarn to make myself a hat. Now, I haven't cast this on yet, but I want to share with you what the yarn looks like, because once I'm done a couple of these other projects, I'm going to cast this on for myself. So it's in my Christmas goose bag. This was gifted to me by Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine last year, I think. Isn't that beautiful? The color was from her Valentine's Day collection of yarns. I don't know if she still has this color or if she's going to be having it again this Valentine's Day. This color is called I Pick You. Isn't that beautiful? I'm very excited to make this for myself. Now this one has 400 yards in it, but I'm going to do this in a 2.75 millimeter needle, so it's going to be a little bit of a tighter knit. I'm going to do a whole thing. Unless it seems to be incredibly long, then I might make a mini sweater as well. But that is the yarn I am going to make for myself. And Amanda can be found on Etsy. I will link her shop below, as well as everything that I'm talking about today, patterns, yarn, tips and tricks. Amanda's yarn is what I'm going to be using as my main color for my 2026 blanket, but I have not started it yet because I've been doing a big cleanup in my craft room, which we're going to see in a moment. I also don't have my Swift and my yarn winder set up properly anywhere, so I'm hoping to have that completely done next time, and then I'm going to cake up a whole bunch of yarn and get going on that blanket too. So this was number one, and I guess we'll call this number two of what I've made for January. I've decided I'm going to take a photo of everything I make this year and probably do a monthly slideshow of look at what I made the following month. So at the beginning of February, I'll do my little January slideshow of everything I've made. I kind of want a sort of way to keep track of everything because half of it's market knitting and half of it is going to be personal things, gifts or items for me. Another thing I completed, and it is for markets, is another sock monkey. This is a free pattern you can find on Yarnspirations. It is called Monkey Around, and you can get it in a knit version or a crochet version. I made these years ago for markets, and I've decided I'm going to bring them back. I use a 3.75 millimeter knitting needle. It is the Patton's classic worsted yarn, which is 100% wool. And I have a bucket load of this in my yarn room that I want to slowly work through. So this is number 2 of what I have completed this month. I feel like the sock monkey could be my spirit animal. I know I love foxes, but there's something great about a sock monkey. And the third thing I completed this month is another market make, and it is a fox stole that you wear. It is made with 100% acrylic yarn, just yarn from Stash. I believe this is the color Heather Redwood, which is, it's either a Red Heart or a Bernat yarn. I will put that below here. And then I had some tweed yarn, which no label, no idea. So this is a versatile scarf that can be worn by an adult or a child. It has the ribbing here that you put the loop at the back of the head through, and you can adjust it to any size you would like. So don't try this at home. Don't try this at home, but actually you can, because this is my own pattern on Ravelry. I'll leave the link below. It's just called Fox Stole, and it is a hit. I only made 6 of them last market season, and they all went on the first day. So I've got the yarn. I'm going to make more. I knit this from Stash because that is the current theme of this channel. And it is fun. I've had adults to children buy these. They're very popular for boys as well. They really like them. So those are the 3 things that I've completed so far this month. And because I was taking photos, it came in nicely with a mal. So I want to give a shout out to 2 creators on YouTube that are running a year-long mal. And they are Karen from Bobblehead Knits and Mandy from Mandy Vaughn Knits. Their mal is called the Yarn Stash Smash 2026. There is a link for the rules. There's not that many rules. And it's basically encouraging people to use the yarn they have. They're going to have a Ravelry group as well, or you can email one of them directly your photos. Now, I am on Ravelry, but I don't really do Ravelry because all I'd be doing is Ravelry if I did Ravelry. And I don't really want to make a project page for the same pair of mittens all the time or similar market makes. So I'm choosing personally to email Karen at Bobblehead Knits. I will leave the link below for the information, and I encourage you to check out these 2 ladies' channels, as well as to participate if you're looking at using up some of the yarn from your stash this year. Okay, I've shared with you my finished projects and one of my future projects I want to make for me. Let's get on to what I've been working on that I need to finish, or items that I've cast on. And I feel like I'm halfway there to do a 12 cast-ons for 2026, but I don't want to participate in that. I don't want to. I've been watching my friends like Alice from Soxy Nana Alice, or Lori from Oceans Knits and Crochet and PEI, and watching them cast on all these things. And I just thought, I don't normally have more than 3 things on the go at any given time, and I have more than that right now. Another thing I want to learn to do better in 2026 is not to let my languishing market make sit around and not be completed. Now, I completed that fox stole and the sock monkey quite successfully. They're ready to go in the bin and just to be tagged later. But I have 2 things that I have to complete. I'm not going to count these as my cast-ons, but they are mittens for my markets. This one I made during my Vlogmas. It's just a cabled black tweed mitten. This is the Bella's mitten pattern. It's you're going to hear about this a lot in 2026 because I turn these into animals for my markets. So I made this, I let it sit as a plain pair because I thought if I need to give it as a gift, last minute gift idea, I have something to share with someone. But I didn't have to. Now the pink pair that I made that I was going to turn into pig mittens has been sold as plain mittens. So this is going to be an animal. It's going to be a cat. I just have to put the ears and the face on it. I don't know why I'm procrastinating. I'm sharing this with you so I get it done for next time. And then a pair that I did cast on this month that I've completed as well is a yellow pair. And this is going to be yellow cats as well. I just gotta get them done. I need to smarten up with this stuff. In my defense, I have been working on my craft room and everything is kind of all over the place, and especially things like buttons and what have you I was working on yesterday. But here's a little update of where we're at with the craft room because we've been trying to do things right. And when I say we, I do mean we. Hubs has helped with getting things ready in that room. Next episode, I hope to share with you the completed craft room. We're almost there. I have put everything in the drawers. They fit beautifully now. They are so much easier to open and close. I have a lot of accessories and stuff. I'm just like, oh. Yes, but I've got all my needles organized. Underneath the dresser, I had a couple bins of bagged projects. So they had yarn in them as well as patterns all ready to go. And I've moved them. I've moved them to my closet. I have used an old shoe organizer and it's hanging in my closet, and I just shoved them all in there to get rid of those bins. Now I have those under the bed bins that I can use to put some finished market makes in and put them out somewhere else in my house so they don't have to be in my craft room. So we're getting there. I just have some last minute things to do. Then I'm going to put in a table. I'm going to set up my yarn winder and my Swift. Hopefully we can get going in there. Stay tuned. Okay, so what have I cast on for this month? Well, I finished a sock monkey and I started another one. Sun's coming in. I started another one because market makes and got the yarn. So I was looking at all the colors I have because I have quite a bit of the Patton's classic wool, and I was trying to put two different colors together, and I thought, no, stick with the gray and add one color to make it really punch. So I'm doing this color now, and it will have a red nose. This is the dark gray marl color. It also comes in a light gray, which I will be using in the future, which is your standard sock monkey color. And then this color, I only had one ball of it, is called duck egg blue. I thought those would look really nice together. It's not very far, but it started. And another shout out to a friend, Christina. Christina from Knit Habits Therapy has started a sock monkey because I guess I enabled her. So she's making one as well out of an acrylic yarn, and she has a great channel. I always find something that she's making a great suggestion for something I want to make in the future, and I'm always adding things to my Ravelry queue because of her. And this time it was a cardigan that she showed on her last episode, so I'm going to link her below. I highly encourage you to go and check out her channel, as well as any of the channels I'm suggesting today, because I think you would really, really like what she's doing. Okay, in my fox bag, and you guessed it, I cast on another fox stole for markets. This again is an acrylic yarn. I think the color is called Carrot. It's for kids, you know, you want it to be washable. And a tweed yarn that I have no idea what it is in my stash. So this is cast on number 2. Trying to get organized back here. Another cast on that I just cast on. And I actually started in December because I've been procrastinating, is the second sock of my Wild Geese DK socks, patterned by Nancy Wheeler of Knit Sip Happy. Now it's a toe up. I really struggled doing this toe up, and I found a great tutorial. Just realized I'm going to have a bit of a ridge. I don't care, these are for me. I do them on double pointed needles, and I found a great tutorial on how to do the cast on. I'm going to leave the link below. It has 1 million views. Obviously, it's good. And I had no problem doing it whatsoever. And now I am on row number 10, just like that. The only thing is, this one doesn't have a ridge, and this one does, but I don't care. They're for me. In the future, I'm always going to do it like this. Why am I whispering? Yes, they are for me. So this is a me make. This is a me make. And the pattern can be found on Ravelry. I will link it below. It was very quick to knit up once I figured out how to get it started. It's very well written. You got to do a little bit of math, and it fit perfectly. This is the yarn I'm using, is the Smash Knits DK yarn. It is called Tarnished Turquoise. And I have a mini, a DK weight mini from Borealis that I'm doing the heel and little features with. I feel kind of good that I finally cast this on. I've really been letting this sit. Yeah, it's a good feeling. So I will link that tutorial below. I highly recommend it if you struggle with casting on for toe-up socks. I'm shocked at how easy it was. Maybe I was just in the mood, and I don't know, but it worked out wonderfully for me. So this is another cast on. As I was cleaning up my yarn room, I came across one other thing that I have just abandoned, and it is not knitting, it is cross stitch, and it is a fox cross stitch that I want to finish for my fox wall, which is going to be my living room. There's different kinds of fox art that I want to put up that I've been collecting, and I want to get this done this year. So the outline is completely done. I've got my little Smash Knits needle minder here. I had another needle minder that was called I Like to Stab Things, and I don't know where the back is. The magnet went, so, and I've gone through a lot of stuff and I can't find it. That's strange. This one says, please be patient with me. I'm from the 1900s. And so basically I just have to add color to it. And I have my lovely bag that my friend Anne, hi Anne, from Toby Knits made for me and sent me. She has an Etsy shop. I think you still have it open. I'm going to look for it and link it below. And makes beautiful project bags. This is a cross stitch bag. You can put all of your stuff in here. Handy dandy. And no, the magnet's not in here either. So this pattern is from Cross Stitcher magazine, which is a UK magazine. I went to the UK a long time ago. This is from 2012. This is 13 years old. And I went into I think it was called a W.H. Smith booksellers. I bought a couple of craft magazines. One of them was Cross Stitcher, because I was really into cross stitch back then. And the other one was Let's Knit. Well, I just fell in love with both of those magazines, and I got a subscription for them, but then it became pretty pricey, so I stopped. But I have a couple of years of both of them, and I keep them and go through them every so often. So this one is a pattern by Marie Diaz, and this is what it'll look like once the color is all in there. Got all of my colors and little things I need all organized. This might be a year-long project, but I'm telling you this so I have some accountability and I will work on it. Cross stitch. Friends, I would like to share with you a coupon code that has been graciously given to me by Kim and Colin from Ginger Snap Yarns. Ginger Snap Yarns is an Alberta company. They sell hand-dyed yarns as well as they make beautiful project bags. And not only did I get a coupon code that's good for 1 month, not 2 months, not even 3 months. This coupon code is good for the entire year of 2026. And it's good for all orders. I think I might be having to buy some yarn later this year. Just use the coupon code PINK10 when you check out, and you will receive 10% off of your order. Now, I just want to make a note to my US friends that they are shipping to the United States. They can ship their yarn, they can ship their project bags, and the only thing that is excluded is their stitch stoppers. So if you have any questions, you can always contact Kim on Instagram. I'm leaving their website and Instagram details below. I'm going to also have this coupon code in each one of my episodes this year so you can take advantage. Not only did they give us a great coupon code, they also gifted me some bags that I'm going to be giving away to some of you later in the year. Now, one of them is for Christmas in July, so I'm not going to do a spoiler yet on that, but they have a brand new bag, and it is called their Stitch and Store Bowls. Did you know that E.T. is going to be 44 years old this year? This looks like a cute one for spring, so I think we're going to do a spring giveaway for this one. This is the everyday essential you wonder how you lived without, and we are lucky enough to have 2 to give away later on in this year on my channel. Look, standing on my hand here, standing up on my hand, and they are all beautifully sewn with beautiful fabric. T's not giving the finger here, is he? They are $25 Canadian, and you know what, US friends, when you look at our conversion, it will be cheaper. Take advantage of Pink 10 all year long. Let me know if you buy anything. Okay, we got 2 more. Do you need a snack? Are you doing okay? Do you need a break? All right. I mentioned this pattern last time, and this is something for me. It is the Feisty Fibers Rockin' Sock mini set in the color Spite. The Spite fam that I wanted to start. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's called the Fadewalker Fingerless Mitts. I am doing this in a 2.25 millimeter double pointed needle. These are the colors. And this is what I have done so far. So I'm just starting color number 4. It looked kind of small. There's 2 sizes and I'm doing the larger size. But I guess fingerless mitts are supposed to be relatively tight, and I do have a small wrist. So I'm excited about this. It's a very easy, fun pattern to follow. And I also enjoy the fact that I'm learning how to bleed the 2 colors together, because in some parts of the pattern, and it is a free pattern, so I can talk about it, you will use one color in one row and then another color in another row, and that's the way that it's transitioning the fade in this set. I think this is a great thing if you have a lot of scrap minis or colors that you think will work well together. I have to say that the cuff was pure black, and it was 14 rows of, I can only do this in the daytime knitting because it's dark. It's been really fun to make, and it's for me. I'm just thinking though, in the future, I might make it in a 2.5 in the future, and a bit of a larger needle, because I am finding it a little snug, but then also I suppose I should be blocking it when I'm done. So it does fit. We'll see how things go. But this is another cast on, and it is for me. And finally, my final cast on is for I guess I'll call him my dog nephew, my niece's dog nephew. A few years back, I made this is pre-YouTube Diane, I made a doggy sweater for her other dog named Jasper, and he is a Dachshund, a wiener dog. And I found this really cute pattern that I bought called the Tweenie Dachshund sweater. Dachshund. It's a turtleneck. I am terrible about writing down my needle size and any sort of notes or changes. It says that you're supposed to use bulky weight yarn, but I'm pretty sure I just used a 4-weight yarn for his sweater, and I don't know. It's a 4.5 millimeter 4.5 millimeter needle. So I doubled it. I doubled some yarn from my stash for his brother. He has a brother now named Hennessy. Here's some photos of Jasper wearing his sweater. Now, again, a tweenie wiener dog is like an in-between size wiener dog. It doesn't give you a lot of details about fit. It says it's for a 14 to 18 pound dog, and it's 18 to 22 inches in his chest. And then I asked her to measure his back. So this is Jasper rocking his basic acrylic doggy sweater. And then Hennessy, we wanted to wait until he was full grown for me to make him a sweater as well. Now Hennessy is bigger than Jasper, so I'm going to have to tweak this. And I've already thought, even though I've started this, I think I'm going to rip it out and do it in a bigger needle. Here's a photo of Hennessy. I can't get Jasper's sweater on Hennessy, so I'm just going to try and maybe do I'm going to do it in a larger needle, and I'm going to increase it more in his chest area because we can't get his feet in the legs. We thought green would be a great option for Hennessy. So I have this color, again, no ball band. I've got this one, this. I started it, but it says to use a bulky weight yarn, and I don't think I did for Jasper's, but I have put no notes on this because that's the way I am, and I need to improve my ability to make things again. I think I'm going to rip this out because I'm doing it held double, and I'm going to go up to, maybe I'll do a 5.5 and hold it together. And this way it will just be bigger. We're going to probably schedule a fit before I finish it completely for him. But yes, a cute little turtleneck. Very fun and quick to make. I just started this last night, and that is my final cast on. I'm halfway to doing the 12 cast-ons for 2026, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not a big trend follower. I'm usually late to the party on a lot of these things, but for some reason I inadvertently found myself as part of the camp. I want to share with you that I'm going to be on a live on Sunday this week, January the 18th, with my friend Judy from Judy's Creations in Crochet. Judy has invited myself and our friend Kathy from Yarn with Heart to participate in her first episode, a newly scheduled monthly live that she is calling Conversations with Judy. And she picked us as her first guests. We will be discussing a topic, and it's just going to be a fun thing that I think a lot of people, whether you're a crocheter or a knitter, can relate to. And I hope to see you there. I'm going to leave the link below that you can click to notify yourself when we have the live. Again, it is on Sunday, January the 18th, and it is at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, my time, or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is Judy's time. And I hope to see you there. I feel like I'm really entering 2026 rather slowly, and it's a good feeling. It really is. So next time we are going to see a finished craft room with a proper tour. We are going to see the progress on all of these things that I have started, and I hope to see you there. If you have not yet done so and you've been back more than once, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to make it to 2,026 subscribers in the year of 2026. That would be amazing. So until I see you next time, be well and bye for now.